Hello friends, and thank you for visiting the SEDM website at sedm.org and watching this video training on posting and editing forum content. This presentation should take about 10 minutes. What you have in front of you is the opening page of the SEDM website at sedm.org. We have it open in the Microsoft Edge web browser that is part of Windows 10. In order to post or edit forum content, you must be logged in to the website as either a basic member, which is free, or a member subscriber. Looking at the opening page here, we can see that we are not logged in because we have a login prompt in the upper right hand corner here. If we were logged in, it would show our name. So the first thing we have to do is log in. We also know that we're not logged in because under the Participate menu, we have a login option. That option will not appear if we are already logged in. Likewise, in the hamburger menu on the side, it also says log in. So that's another way we can find out that we're not logged in yet. So let's close the hamburger menu on the side and type in our username. There we go. And now we're going to log in as the test user. Notice after we logged in that we see our name up here, test user. We can also click here and log out, or we can click on the hamburger menu to log out over here, or on the Participate menu we can see that there is no log out here, but we can see that there is no login prompt either, no login entry. So let's go to the forums because that's the subject of this presentation, and now we can see the forums. Now the important thing to remember here about the forums is that our permissions in the forums are determined by the group that we joined when we signed up for the site or when we signed up for member subscriptions. By way of review, there are 3 levels of membership in the site. There is a guest user who has no permission to access the protected areas of the site or to read most of the forums. There is a basic member where we have signed up for the free basic member account and we can access members only content, and that would be things like section 2 here, members only, or section 3, members only, or moving on down here. So there's any other, there are members only here, section 9, and so on. So, but basically a basic member could not access member subscription content, so that would be like section 4, dealing administratively with tax collectors. So they could not access this because each membership level has specific areas they can access. So right now we're logged in as a basic member, so we cannot access these areas. And so the only place we can, since we can't access them, obviously we can't post and we can't edit posts, so we wouldn't want to click on any of these. But if we wanted to, for instance, post to a members only area, we could click on this. And by the way, if we clicked on any of the member subscription only content, it would give us an error message at the top right up here saying you don't have access. So let's click on members only, general law, and we are going to both create a post and we're going to edit a post after we create it. So we click on that area, we can see the new path here. We're in the forums, members helping members, members only content, and we're in the section 3.1 general law. And underneath that we have sub forums. So we have constitutional law, contract law, family law. And we don't see these levels from the opening forum page, But once we drill down, we can see that there's a lot more detail here. So if we went to constitutional law, then we could create a new post. So now the place that we create the post is at the bottom of this area, this forum, down on the bottom right here. So it says create new topic, and so we would enter the topic here. So the title we'd enter at the top here, test topic, and then we could enter the body of our post. So we'll type, this is a test post. Now this editor is pretty extensive, but there are things on here that you don't see right away, and this is what you call the tiny MCE editor, and it's an expanded editor with a lot more options than your typical editor. So, but if we want even more options, then we click on this here, the toggle toolbar, and we can see additional options, like indent, undent, justify, clear the formatting, enter emoticons. So you have to remember to click on this little toolbar toggle if you want to see all the additional options. We normally don't use all of them, so we just keep it simple. We just close it over here. So we can do things like bold facing, italicize, enter quotes, bulleted lists, numbered lists, align left, center, align right, add a hyperlink, enter a table, create a new table. We can open up entries from the download manager. We can look at the keyboard shortcuts, and so on. So anyway, so we'd enter our message here typically, and one of the standards that we like to do on the site is everything that's a quote is indented and italicized, and so we like to maintain that convention here in the posts for everybody. And so please save us work of not having to go back over all of the posts and fix the formatting to make it consistent. So if you do a quote, you click block quote, and there it is, and then you can enter your quote. This is a quote. And then when you're done, you can hit enter and unquote like this, and it goes back to a regular entry, in this case a paragraph. And so, and if we want to, if we're getting ready to save this, we'd enter our topic tags, test, post, whatever our subject is, and all the topic tags are separated by commas. So we'll say comma, constitutional law is the area we're posting in. We can check this box to have people, to have the system notify you when somebody has replied to your post. You can also enter attachments, and this would include things like documents or images or whatever. And you can add an additional file if there is already one posted there. And in addition, there is what's called a text mode here. Right now we're in the visual modes, but if we click on the text mode, we can see the actual HTML formatting here. Block quote is an HTML tag. And all these entries, these buttons up here, are your standard HTML. So boldface, italicize, hyperlink, block quote, delete, image, unordered list, ordered list, list indent, code, close tags, and so on. So these will be your typical web authoring tags that would be used if you were in the text mode. And the text mode used to be called the HTML mode in WordPress, but they renamed it to text mode to keep it simpler. So we'll go back to the visual mode and we'll collapse our extended menu. So we will submit this post after we've entered the topic tags. That's really important. Don't enter a post without entering the topic tags. So we'll hit submit, and it will enter our new post, and we will see it on our screen here. There it is. So there's our new post. It shows who posted it. And if we want to go back, and we can enter a reply here to the original post, just like we did with the original post. We can edit an existing post by clicking on edit. We can click on the reply button, which is equivalent of filling this thing in down here, the reply to. Or we can quote this post, and that'll create a new reply, but it will indent this post so we can comment on it. We can see the tags that we entered for that post when we entered it. We can see the post ID within the database. Now if we go back to the parent of this post, where we drilled into it, then we can see that there aren't a lot of options. For instance, we are not able to, there's the topic we just entered. Even though we just posted this, and even though we're the author and the owner of this post, there's no way to delete the post. It's not offered as an option. So that would be reserved for a moderator or an admin. So we cannot delete posts that we've already done. Another important thing to know is that there is a time limit for editing your posts. And so if we think of something else we want to add to our post, or we want to edit the post, there's about a 30-minute time limit to going back and editing the posts. So this edit button eventually will just disappear after 30 minutes. So if you don't see it, that means you're outside the window. Now you might wonder why we do this. And the reason is that people will go back and delete something they said, or they'll want to delete the whole post. And especially if they're engaged in a debate or an argument, and they made a mistake, or they said something wrong, and they want to cover up what they did wrong. And so that's why we have a time limit. And so they can't destroy the evidence. And more importantly, if let's say later on, months later, let's say they have an argument with the admin or with another member, and they just want to completely disassociate, and they want to delete all their posts. They want to basically vandalize the website. And so that's another reason why we have this time limit, is so that people can't turn malicious on us and delete all their posts and destroy the site. So there are a lot of reasons for that. In addition, we can click on this subscribe up here, and we can subscribe to that forum, so that if somebody makes a change, we'll get notified. Yeah. And we might want to do that because it's an important subject matter. Or we can also click on the favorite and make this our favorite topic, so we can go back and find it more easily later. Now if we go back to our profile by clicking on test user over here, then we should be able to see an entry for this in our profile. So if we go to forums, we should see that post now on the profile page under forums. We should see that as a post that we just made. There it is, test topic. So on our profile, or on the profile of any user, you can see all the topics that people started. So that's another place you can find out what you did. And for instance, if you entered something and then you forgot where you put it, this is a good place to go. You just go back to your profile to find the topic that you entered, because this filters it to display only the stuff that you created or you replied to. So it's a pretty convenient way to go back and find things that you did previously if you want to reuse them later, or find them later, because sometimes it can be difficult to find content on the site otherwise. So let's go back to the beginning. the opening page. This concludes our treatment of posting and editing forum content. Thank you very much for watching. We hope you learned a lot, and we look forward to interacting with you in the future on the site. Thank you, and God bless you.